Okay, this is Pipetting 101, and in order to use pipette, there are a couple different rules you need to know, and it's actually something that's really helpful. So what it actually is it will suck up some volume, some certain amount of volume, very specific and it's very accurate, and you can take that volume from one area and put it into a new destination, from a stock to one of your testing solutions or what have you. So we have a couple different ones here. We have a P200, which will measure from 20 microliters to 200 microliters. And what that means is that it will only measure from those amounts. So you can't do lower, you can't do higher. And you can actually adjust them using this black wheel on this pipette here. So if you wanted to do that, you would just turn it. So if it wanted 100, right now it says 100, so I don't know if you can see that good, but it says 100. That means it's 100. So it's hundreds on the top, tens, and then ones consecutively. So if I wanted 50, I would turn the dial so it would say 050, because that would be 5 in the tens box. So I could turn that so it would be 050, 050. Okay, so now what you want to do is learn how to hold it. So you actually have to put your hand out like this, and then you want your index fingers facing away from you. And then you want this protrusion on the pipette to actually face the same way as your fingers, and then you wrap your fingers around the number boxes, and so this protrusion actually rests on your index finger, and then you have your thumb in the back to access these controls. Now what this is the pump, in which if you push this down, that will actually displace the air in the pump and then allow you to suck some liquid up when you release your thumb. So the way you would actually pipette something is you push down to the first stop, go into a liquid, lift with your thumb, go into the new destination, push down to the second stop, and what the second stop does is just expel that much more air so that you get rid of all the liquid instead of just some of it. So now you don't just stick this tip into the liquid, you actually need an actual tip. They're actually disposable and usually sterile, but what you do is these yellow ones correspond with the yellow top. So what you want to do is double tap on one tip. So now I have a tip on my pipette, and I can actually pipette some liquid. So I'm going to take this blue food coloring, and what I'm going to do is just quickly show you how I would pipette from one to another. So I would push down to the first stop before I go into the liquid, and then suck the liquid up. So you can see it's in my pipette. And then if this was a new destination, I would then put the pipette into the new destination, push down to the first stop, and then the second stop, just to make sure that I got rid of all of the liquid. Then what you can do is you can dispose of your tip using this back piece here with the metal, and you would just push that down into the used tips disposal bin. Now we have another pipette called the P1000. So this will measure from 200 microliters to 1,000 microliters. And what's cool about this is 1,000 microliters is 1 milliliter. So you can actually measure out 1 milliliter of liquid using this. Now what's a little different is that it says 0 with a red number, whereas the top number on the P200 was a black, and then you have a 70. So what that is 700 microliters, which means that the top is the 1,000 box, middle is the hundreds, and the bottom is the tens. And the ones are correspondent to the hash marks that you can find on on the tens box. Now since this is blue on the top, we use these bigger blue tips. We're going to put one of these on, and it's the same mechanics as the P200, so there really isn't much different. So if we were going to actually pipette some liquid out, we would use, again, the first stop, second stop system, where we go down to the first stop before we go into the liquid, go into the liquid, release your thumb slowly, because sometimes this pipette jumps, and you want a nice thick band of liquid right here. So then if I wanted to go into a new destination, let's pretend this is again, I would just go down to my first stop, and then sometimes there's a little extra liquid, second stop, all the way down, and then dispose my pipette. Okay, and that's Pipetting 101. If you have questions, I'm sure your professor will be able to answer you, and you'll be all set.